And welcome back. Market Day Report, 15 minutes to the top of the hour. We have the crop report out. Let's get those numbers real quick. Tommy Grisafi joining us here. He is going to be doing the cow guy close as well. But let's look at the USDA numbers before we get to the actual numbers from CME Group. Corn, those of you just tuning in, ending stocks for corn, U.S. ending stocks, 2.12 billion. That was right in line with expectations. The number that people talking about, soybeans, they were looking for 319 million. The number 340 came out at the top of the hour, 340 million. And wheat, looking for an average estimate, 685 million, came in 698 million. Also want to real quick go through the South American crops if we can and take a look. Those are numbers, and I'm sure Tommy will have some thoughts on this as well. The corn, actual million metric tons corn, 124, a little higher than expected. Brazilian soybeans, 155. 155 million tons, also higher than expected. Argentina numbers really well right in line. Corn, 55 million, and soybeans, 50 million, right on the number there. So, Tommy, a lot of numbers out this morning. April, as we went into the report, thinking, it's always not that much of a market mover, and it looks like it might not be.
No, and Carly Garner said it best. Carly comes on the Cow Guy Close. She said she's not that worried about the report. She's worried about the reaction. So interesting as you read the numbers, 340 on beans, you would think that's bearish, but beans traded initially, the initial reaction with the algos, high-frequency traders, we traded down about 12, 13 cents. Last I looked, we were only down about 3 cents in beans. So a bearish number, yet a bullish reaction. Corn number, corn was down, unchanged a little bit for the report. It's down 3 or 4 now. You think what's 3 cents matter, but you're young enough to remember when corn used to move a penny a day. When I started at the Board of Trade, I think my slowest day ever trading corn in the pit was we had a 1 1/4 cent range. So it's been so busy the last few years, Mark, we've gotten used to these big moves. But now as they add more bushels here or there, we have to be cognizant of it. The biggest surprise of this number was the discrepancy between what the USDA says is the amount of crop in South America and what's down there. A friend of mine texted it to me, and I'll read it to you. The discrepancy between USDA and Conab comes out to 513 million bushels. That's about the state of North Dakota's production. So our government and their agencies that release numbers, there's a discrepancy between what's really out there. And I think we were looking for that to tighten, and it actually got worse.
Get a little wider. Let's take a look at those South American numbers here once again, as far as what USDA showed us this morning. So what you're saying, Conab is not agreeing with the USDA again this month in their corn and soybean numbers.
Yeah, and we'll see who's right. I'm sure there's some people out there who trade very actively in the futures and options market who maybe we're looking for something different. But those are the prices we have today.
Let's take a look at prices. Well, you mentioned that corn on the board as we are now sitting here about 50 minutes from that report, still down. The nearby May down 3 1/4, 431. New crop December down a penny and 3/4, 468 1/2. Moving over to the soybeans, Tom, you mentioned that, and coming back. Actually, they went down. It is interesting. Those of you tuning in on Rural Radio, the May went down quickly. 1151. Now already back up to 1164 1/4, down, but only a half a cent. And November down 3/4 after a low 1156, now 1168. I guess those numbers underline what you're saying here, and way to go.
Well, that's what the markets are going to finally determine.
Yeah.
We could think what we want, but there are thousands and thousands of people out there who control or get to participate in the futures and options market.
You're going to be in the cow guy close here. You mentioned interest rates, Mark. So interest rates going up today. Hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so yesterday was a bad day for the bond market. Bad meaning the bond futures went down hard. Interest rates went up. 10 years at 4.55. What it means all out to you in rural America is the cost of doing business went up dramatically the last few days. All these people saying, interest rates are going to come down. Not only did they not go down, they went up for the year. So interest rates on the high of the year, very much going to affect someone in livestock and our grain producers.
Absolutely right. All right, Tommy back with us. We'll take a break, come back and check in the livestock trade and more economic comments. That's why he's here. We love him. We'll be right back. And Tommy Grisafi with us here again on the day, going to take care of the Cow Guy close again here today for our good friend. And he's going to be back. Well, maybe next week.
When he gets back.
He gets back when he gets back. Yeah, that's
taking care of business, Mr. Shelby.
Anything else on the economic front that I like that when you left, we left talking about interest rates and the cost of doing business going up. That's why we love the Cow Guy close. You're talking a long range. And the other thing about interest rates is that more and more of your people saying may not be any cuts this year.
Yeah, and it's funny, these people come on shows, this show, any show. I knew that wasn't going to happen. They could have done a trade. If you knew interest rates weren't going to go down, you could have made a lot of money, right? So it's funny to watch all the people say, oh, interest rates, there's 5 rate cuts. Oh, there's no rate cuts. I knew that was going to happen. If you and I knew there was a drought, we know there's things we could do in the futures and options market. So don't watch what they say. Don't watch what the talking heads say. Watch what the federal government does. Watch the Fed chatter before Fed meetings are allowed to talk, and then they go in a quiet period. They're doing damage control right now. They're backing up. And
they release in the minutes much later as well, where you get to actually read, what was discussed at that meeting. And there seemed more evidence that they're uncomfortable even talking about interest rate cuts right now. It may need, what I read is that they may need 2 or 3 months in a row, which pushes any potential cut back to September, maybe even October. You agree?
Yeah. The analogy I gave yesterday in Cow Guy Close was if you get 3 speeding tickets 3 months in a row, you may be going too fast. That is the United States economy. Hey, I heard we have an election coming up in 4 or 5 months. That may have something to do with that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll let you get political and we'll leave it at that. I want to get to the live cattle futures. Those of you tuning in want to know what the market is doing right now. Live cattle are mixed. The nearby April is up 37. June more active, up 25. Now up 17. So we're getting those live clicks as it happens. 173.02 on the June live cattle. How about feeder cattle? Feeder cattle mix mostly lower. The May down 15, or the April down 15. May is up 65 points. Interesting there. 237.22 on the May feeders. And then finally, the lean hog complex. Right now, again, mostly a lower trade, but that May sticks out there, up 52 points. Is going to be taking over pretty soon on that April, and they are about $6 apart right now. April 91.42, May over 97 right now, 97.07 on the May contract. So you talk about all that stuff here at the Cow Guy close.
We'll be there. Can't wait.
Tommy, thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, and breaking it down for us. You're going to be covering this close coming
Allegedly.
up. He's going to be sticking around for that. Don't worry.